Hello again, and welcome back to Otherworldly Encounters. Today we have the near-death experience of Melinda, who after being hit by a car, finds herself in a dark void, immersed in the memories of another person. I was a 28-year-old investment banker living in New York City at the time of my near-death experience. I worked hard, played hard, and often neglected my personal life in favor of my career. I was known for being tough, no nonsense, and occasionally blunt, but that's just how I learned to survive in the cutthroat world of finance. When I wasn't at work, I spent my time with my faithful companion Zeus, a rescue dog I found at a shelter. I always had a soft spot for animals, and Zeus was a constant source of comfort and companionship in my otherwise hectic life. Despite my success, I struggled with some unhealthy vices, such as drinking too much, binge eating, and smoking. These habits became a crutch for me, a way to cope with the stress and pressure of my job. My personal life was marked by tragedy. I lost my mother when I was young, and my father was never really there for me due to his demanding job. This made me fiercely independent, but it also left me feeling isolated and alone. I found moments of peace and reflection during my nightly walks with Zeus. It was during these walks that I allowed myself to contemplate the bigger picture of life and what it all meant. But little did I know that soon I would experience something that would shake everything I thought I knew about life and death. It was a normal Monday morning, and I was on my way to work, rushing to get to an important meeting. I was walking quickly down the sidewalk, staring at my phone, trying to send off one last email before I got to the office. That's when I heard the screeching of brakes. I looked up just in time to see a car coming straight at me. I tried to move out of the way, but it was too late. The next thing I knew, I was flying through the air, my body slamming into the pavement. I was in so much pain, I couldn't even scream. I tried to move, but I couldn't. People started gathering around me, trying to help, but it was too late. I could feel myself slipping away, and everything started to go dark, and I felt myself being lifted out of my body. I looked down and saw myself lying there, still and lifeless. But I wasn't afraid. I felt free and weightless, as if I was floating on air. It was the most peaceful and serene feeling I had ever experienced. As I traveled upward, I entered a dark void and felt a sense of unease creeping over me. The darkness seemed to press in on all sides, and I could hear strange whispers echoing through the emptiness. Then suddenly, I was surrounded by a kaleidoscope of images. They flashed before my eyes in a rapid succession, each one more vivid than the last. They were like memories, but they didn't belong to me. They were someone else's experiences, someone else's life. I felt a deep sense of empathy and understanding as I witnessed these moments. I understood the struggles and joys of this person, even though I didn't know who they were. It was like something was trying to tell me a message. As the memories began to fade, I felt a sense of sadness wash over me. I wanted to know more, to understand the person whose life I had just experienced. I was left in the void once again, with nothing but questions and a sense of unease. I knew I needed to find a way back to my own body, but I couldn't shake the feeling that there was something I was missing. Something important that I needed to remember. As I floated in the void, I suddenly saw something in the distance. It was a door. The door looked like it was made of pure light, shimmering and pulsing with energy. I felt drawn to the door, like it was calling out to me. I approached it slowly, feeling a sense of trepidation but also an overwhelming sense of curiosity. As I got closer, I saw that there was a doorknob. It was ornately decorated, with intricate patterns etched into its surface. Without thinking, I reached out and turned the doorknob. To my surprise, the door opened easily, and I found myself stepping through it. On the other side of the door was a room. I looked around in wonder, trying to take in everything I saw. And then, I saw something that made my heart skip a beat. It was a woman, with long, dark hair and piercing blue eyes. She was dressed in a flowing white dress, and she looked up at me with a smile. "Hello, Melinda," she said. "I've been waiting for you." I felt a jolt of recognition. I knew her. But how? Who was she? "Who are you?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. The woman smiled again. You know who I am, Melinda. You just need to remember. I felt a surge of frustration. How could I know who she was when I had never seen her before? But then, as I looked into her eyes, I felt something stir within me. It was like a memory, but not one from my own life. In the memory, I saw the woman again. She was standing in front of me, smiling. But this time, I remembered her name. Mom, I whispered, as the memory flooded back. The woman nodded. That's right, Melinda. I'm your mother. I felt tears spring to my eyes as I realized the truth. My mother had passed away years ago, but here she was, waiting for me in this strange, mystical place. I've missed you so much, I said, my voice choked with emotion. I've missed you too, my dear, my mother said. But you're not here just to see me. There's something else you need to know. I felt a sense of trepidation wash over me. What could it be? What else did I need to know? And with that, I felt myself being pulled back into the void once again. As my mother's form began to fade away, I reached out desperately, trying to hold on to her. Wait, Mom, please. I called out. What do I need to know? In a voice barely above a whisper, she said, Remember, my dear, the answer lies where the shadows meet the light. Confused, I opened my eyes to find myself back in my body, surrounded by the bright lights of the hospital room. My heart was pounding in my chest as I tried to process everything that had just happened. After extensive rehabilitation, I was able to get back on my feet again. Days turned into weeks, and weeks turned into months, but I couldn't shake the memory of my near-death experience. It consumed my thoughts and my dreams, and I spent countless hours trying to decipher the meaning behind my mother's cryptic message, and things were not going well for me. A year later, my beloved dog Zeus passed away, and I lost my job as an investment banker. I felt defeated, like nothing in my life was going right. One day, I was sitting on a park bench, watching the leaves on the trees cast shadows on the ground. As I sat there, I noticed how the shadows seemed to dance and play with the light. It was then that I heard my mother's voice, as clear as day, saying, Remember, dear, the answer lies where the shadows meet the light. At first, I didn't know what to make of it. But as I sat there, watching the shadows and the light, something shifted inside me. I realized that my life wasn't just about the darkness, the shadows, and the difficulties I was facing. There was also light, beauty, and hope, if only I was willing to see it. I started to look for opportunities to bring light back into my life and the lives of others. Looking back, I realized that my mother's message was a turning point. It reminded me that even in the darkest moments, there is always hope and light to be found, if only we are willing to look for it. What did you think of Melinda's story? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed her story, please give it a like and subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you can receive a notification when I post a new video. If you would like to share a story and have it featured on this channel, please send a written account to my email address noted here. Thank you for watching, and I hope you come back and visit again soon.